Samson, have you ever looked at an object and just been like, hot?
I'm looking at one right now.
Oh, I think this microphone's really sexy too.
Wow.
Oh. Hello and welcome back to
What's the Safe Word?
I'm Amp.
And I'm Samson.
And today
We are talking about inanimate objects, beep boop.
Today we're doing a little bit of a new thing called a himbo hangout. It's where two himbos get together and talk about things that are on their mind recently. And today it happens to be inanimate objects, making objects more anthropomorphized. Now, first of all, how do you spell anthropomorphize?
ANTHROPOMORPHIZED. Anthropomorphized.
Probably great. Now, today's topic is coming from a place of hyperfixation because I just started playing the game Date Everything.
Wait, so you're telling me you can date everything? The washing machine, the chair, the refrigerator?
Time for a snack.
This door, that door, even front and back door.
What are you looking at?
The fan, the wall, the microwave, the toilet.
Turns out inanimate objects online are not only something that people thirst after, but that people like to give personality and almost a backstory to.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this comes from like the anthropomorphization of objects, whether that's in like early children's literature. My brain immediately goes to like the brave little toaster, right? Everybody loved the brave little toaster.
And that's why it's so relevant, is because everybody looks at an object and there's almost like, it's technically synesthesia for everybody, but you have like this almost sense of like, oh, it's cute. It has a color or a shape or a personality to it, right? Like even putting a face on something like this mug, it has personality to it.
So my curiosity with this is always, is this something that is worn? Like some people have like an underwear thing or like used clothing. Socks are another big one. Or is this like a coffee mug or something that is like really chrome and shiny?
I mean, there is a definite like marketability to objects when they're worn. Like I am more invested and want to buy like a jockstrap if it's on a more attractive, in my own personal opinion, person, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, inanimate objects are hot because of what's called object sexuality or objectophilia, also known as objectum or objectum sexuality. It involves inanimate objects that are sometimes sentient, sometimes not, or sometimes anthropomorphized. Very similar to like how furries anthropomorphize animals and give them personality. But these things, these objects don't have like an actual human age or personality or characteristics to it. That does not though mean that people are not then making or developing deep emotional relationships with specific objects, concrete or abstract. And so when I started playing this brand new game called Date Everything, which has kind of taken the streaming space by storm, objects have become more realized, if that makes sense.
It's like a sandbox style thing, right? Like you're walking around the house, you see the actual, be like, hey, I'm gonna pick up this coffee cup. And then all of a sudden you see the art that is around that thing, like what that would look like in the eyes of somebody who was making that a full character in their eyes.
Absolutely. And we're not just trying to get your JDs in a bunch. Like obviously the couch and Date Everything is hot, but JD Vance could never date Koa. Koa is my king, okay? I'm gonna sit on his lap.
It took me a second to realize where you were going. And then I realized, and I wish I hadn't.
As if JD Vance had any chance. But the bottom line, like objectophilia is not a mental health condition, which I think is important to bring up. There's nobody that is being harmed by you having an affection for a stuffed animal, or like, for instance, like a piece of a technology like your headphones that you really love or that give you pleasure.
So you heard it here first, folks. Fuck that couch. Don't feel bad about yourself. Fuck it good. Let yourself have this one. Do you want to be bad? Let's be bad. Let's fuck your couch.
But as I'm dating this game, I'm asking myself, could you have a relationship with your side table? And is that table a top? The tabletop? Do you get
No,
it?
I think it's more of a side. It's not a bottom or a top. Okay. It's a side.
Honestly, though, the table is named Abel in Date Everything, and he is one of the most demi characters ever.
Yeah.
But like any table that you talk to in this game is this hunky fucking cowboy man who's like,
Why is the tables though? I'm trying to think. Is there subtext there?
because he's sturdy, dependable, and everybody uses him.
He's always supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And also hides your dirty little secrets in the form of a small bag of sex toys.
Wait, who's hiding their sex toys in their, inside the site. Got it.
Welcome.
I was picturing someone like duct taping a dildo to the bottom side of a kitchen table and being like, yep, that's good enough. Mom's not gonna find that one.
But before we talk about some of our favorite sexy objects to seduce, why are people into fucking inanimate objects? Well, We'll get into that after today's sponsor.
VIIA is going to get you in the best mood by getting sensual online or offline.
And they ship discreetly to you in almost all 50 states with free shipping over $100, so long as you're over the proper legal age. With their THC-free gummies, as well as soothing topicals and calming drops, VIIA's got something perfect for everybody. And VIIA has developed a unique blend of pleasure-enhancing cannabinoids, libido-strengthening herbs, and low doses of CBD into one mind-blowing gummy called High Love. The products have great flavors and are made with vegan and organic ingredients, and their best-selling High Love will not only heighten your senses, but will also increase your sexual pleasure in the bedroom. Not sure where to start on VIIA's website? Well, they have the brand new Quiz Product Finder, the personalized recommendations tailored to your needs, and it only takes 60 seconds to complete. For 21 and up, it is the only lifestyle hemp brand. Whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get a little elevated, they also have zero THC products just in case. So if you're over the age of 21, check out VIIA in the link down below and use offer code WATTS, WATTS, to receive 15% off. And if you're new to VIIA, you get a free gift of your choice. After you've purchased, let them know where you found them on What's a Safe Word, and thanks for supporting.
Thank you, VIIA.
So why are people turned on by inanimate objects? A lot of studies have been done to talk about objectum or objectophilia, and therapists have been very clear that it's not a mental disorder because it's not causing harm. It's not a paraphilic disorder because, again, those things are only bad when they're causing harm or distress to someone. But they do say that there is an overlap of autism and synesthesia in people that do have that objectophilia. Now, a synesthesia is something where you are kind of having two senses reacting when you do one of them. So like if I were to, let's say, see a cup and I think of a shape or a color, there's other object related feelings that I'm getting while looking at this thing. AKA synesthesia is feelings of one neural pathway giving a secondary feeling to another pathway. So you're seeing colors for music or feeling a smell when you see shapes or something like that.
I think the closest thing that I could understand this to would be like something is really shiny, like really chromy and curvy. That to me kind of triggers like, ooh, it's hot, it's industrial.
Well put together and manufactured, high end. So when talking about inanimate objects, what a lot of people will jump to, the first couple things that they look for are curves or points, like angles and silhouettes, as well as age.
Hi, old. Hi, old.
So how old is an object? Like older statues or even older furniture can feel seasoned, well worn, and have a bit of a personality to it. But also, what is its use? A jockstrap is a lot sexier as an object than, let's say, like a pencil. But then maybe you talk to an artist and they're like, my pencil is the sexiest object I have because it lets me create. It lets me fantastically make these things.
And it's a perfect fit for my little piss slit.
Oh.
Mechanical pencil up the piss slit.
Are you turned on while using it can be a factor? Like,
yeah, that just reminds me of that one r/ where it's like that guy who fucked the raw chicken breast.
ew.
Yeah. And he's like, does that qualify? That's not like an object. That's just, well, actually, I think it does qualify as an object because the reason that he explains why he fucked it was that it was slimy and wet. And I'm like, okay, like I can see the adjectives that you use for this being parallel to something that would turn you on, right?
Fuck that couch.
But then there's the literal fetish and kink of Forniphilia, which is being treated like a piece of furniture.
Oh, that I love.
Love it.
For instance, being like a stool for someone to put their feet up on, being a toilet. Oh, ooh.
Oh, on a toilet roll, Jean-Luc out of control.
That's a little bit more of an intense one, but I can understand, you know, becoming an objectified thing.
It's very dom sub, quite literally, but also you're servicing someone and providing a service, whether it's helping someone relax. You could be someone's like foot massager. You could be someone's sweaty gym towel and just lick all the sweat off someone. Like there's a definite sexual energy to being treated like an object as well.
I think a lot about this with rubber as well, like the dronification is like concealing one's identity because it's much easier for us to dehumanize and objectify something that we can't see. It has no discerning features that looks the same as everything else. I even think to a certain extent pups are like this because we all like to wear hoods that are kind of similar, even though they're different colors and expressive. The general shape is kind of the same.
Well, and lots of people online were even talking about how their hoods and their gear, while not sex objects to them, their pieces of gear, do have a personality to them. If you could be like forniphiled, if you were a piece of furniture, what would you be?
Somebody's doorbell so I could just go, hey! There's someone here!
So like when we talk about inanimate objects being sexy or having personalities, what comes to mind for you? For me, I always start with Beauty and the Beast and the entire castle full of humans turned object.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Because some of them, like the feather dusters, were kind of sexy with how they moved and like were cleaning. So like that comes to mind. Disney movies with like personified objects.
The Iron Giant. Did you ever watch that one?
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of us probably bonded to those at an early age as well. And there's something really earnest and sweet about maybe how we felt about the world at that time when we didn't know what was real and what wasn't.
What always goes in my mind, and this definitely falls into kink category, is the brave little toaster. Because not only is it inanimate, cute objects, but trauma.
Trauma. Yeah. Trauma. 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 Trauma.
That movie traumatized so many kids, myself included, at that age. And then when we talk about inanimate objects, of course, there are so many tropes within television of like curses where people are turned into objects or they're transformed against their will. And there's a certain like dom sub energy to that.
I can logically understand that. I'm mostly just fascinated by how does somebody develop that? And that's where like a lot of the cartoon tropes come from, like hypnosis or inflation. So where as a kid did you see somebody get like turned into a shirt and worn and you were like, ah, yeah, that's hot?
I think where it comes from is like,
Isn't from actual fetish content, but is from content that we see at a young age that is impressionable. So you see it in cartoons, you see it in like Fairly Odd Parents, you see it even in a little Steven Universe or other shows that have these like transformative or magical
objects and like turns them back and then they're like, oh my God, that was the worst. Or controlling someone and then they're like almost embarrassment or like pain. And I think that power play can be really hot to some people.
Anything that makes somebody go, oh no, don't. Anything that involves those words, that's going to be hot to somebody.
And what games like Date Everything do really well is they make all the characters really sexy and diverse, and they're voice acted by some of your favorite characters on like Dropout, YouTube, and or other like D20 sorts of shows.
Happen to recognize any of these voices?
Zoom! Search! Profigliano!
Ranger! Oh, you survived the journey. Oh.
Toys? Pleasure is not a game, darling. You want to skip me?
Why a gee-gosh golly and a hi-de-ho! I'm Parker.
Sup, baby? That's a fantastic red shirt you've got. Glad it doesn't cover your sweet ass.
Did you just ask your water heater what she does? I'm Winifred. Nice to meet you.
I do love some good voice acting.
Call us up. It's got Brennan Lee Mulligan as your box of video games. It's got Matt Mercer as a D20 that you then play a little campaign of D&D with. It's got Erika Ishii as your hidden sex toy called Benoit.
Benoit. That's great.
Or might be going into BDSM dynamics because there is a safe in your attic called Sophia who is very into Findom, obviously, but you actually do like BDSM scenes with, and you talk about consent.
I've seen some of the clips of this game and it does go into some actual territory that I would not imagine such a silly setup would go into.
Oh yeah, tons of trauma if you consent to those triggers being present in the game. And what Date Everything does really well is not only personifies these objects into characters, but it makes you care about the items in your house. It makes you think about like, what would my jockstrap think? Girl, wash your balls. I don't know why my jockstrap is also voiced by Cher, but
girl, this shit smells like it hasn't been washed since 1972.
And to a level, I think there is a bit of like, humans and people are awful. I feel more comfortable with objects that I can put feeling and emotion into because I care about them.
And I do like how, regardless of this, you're not really hurting anybody, right? You're not hurting anybody by doing this. The only thing that I feel like, if you take your sex doll out and you like don't dress it up and you like go to IHOP and suddenly you're like.
So here's the thing with objectifiers or people that are into objects that I really love is they believe in something called animism. And that's the idea that everything has a spirit or a spiritual energy, including individuals, plants, animals, objects, etc. I think it's very pure of a person to just be like, I love this thing because it brings me joy and I believe it has a soul in such a way.
I kind of like that. I mean, from an like an existential perspective, just thinking that, you know, we are all made out of the same stuff, like the same basic compounds and materials and everything. And so separating this concept of conscience or consciousness and being like, well, hey, I am made out of the same stuff that this other carbon-based thing is made out of, right? Like it's a tree or a piece of wood or anything, you know, like you share a lot of the makeup on an atomic level with other things.
And some people's makeup is just more terrible than others.
Do you love me anyway?
I'm not gonna answer that question. Next topic though. What are some of your favorite objects that you want to fuck?
Easy, kitchen scissors. I don't want to fuck the kitchen scissors, but I envision kitchen scissors because I use them so much. I love kitchen scissors. It's my favorite utensil. It's so multifaceted. It's so, you can use it for like everything. It makes eating everything so much easier. And I feel like it would be, I picture a pair of kitchen scissors as like Lady Domitresque from Resident Evil 8. And the other more fuckable thing that I think I own would care for a fucking.
That is foul. Do not peck me.
Fuck me, Brent.
No, bad chicken. If I squeeze you, what happens? So what are your favorite objects that you own but would like to fuck? Not a sex toy? Put it in the comments. As I'm playing this game, like, I think some of these objects would actually be annoying as fuck. Which got me thinking, and why we asked you guys, what is the sexiest object you own? We'll go through some of our favorites, but some of my favorites out of this thread start with Phantom, who says, my saxophone.
Oh, a musical instrument is a great one, especially a saxophone that is so synonymous with sex. Like, you think about in any media, when they want to portray the sound of sex, it is always the saxophone.
The next one in there from Coach Vanson said, I'm not into cutting or blood play at all, but there are few things sexier than a pristine, sharp chef's knife.
Thank you. See, this is why I said kitchen scissors. Have you ever used like a really sharp knife and it just like glides effortlessly through a tomato or something and you're like, oh.
I mean, chefs especially probably have some very deep affinity and affiliation and also love for their knives because they get the right knives, they sharpen them, they take them with them. I absolutely get that. The next one from Nerdy Queer Alt. This one had me screaming because non-tangible objects are still objects in a way that we can form connections with.
Okay.
Love and hate. They said, my health insurance?
I am in a non-consensual fin-dom relationship with my health insurance.
Next from Otter Tales, it says, any one of my jock straps, which makes sense, but then they go on to say, but also my dictionary got me hard more often than porn as a teenager.
Fascinating.
Knowledge is sexy. Okay, I really like this one. Josie says a carabiner.
Ooh.
Clippable, keeps things tight and secure, helps us in every way, shape, and form we don't even realize. Also a little kind of fidgety, shiny, metal, strong, wig, dry.
Wig.
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 Wig. Why wig?
Why not wig?
There's very few problems, including surprisingly moderate to severe plaque psoriasis that can't be fixed with a carabiner.
Carabiner! Carabiner!
But I'm curious, Sampson, and I asked you to put a little list together. What are the 5 sexiest objects that you would like to fuck or that you want to personify or that you already maybe have a relationship with in your house?
I would say my computer would have to be really high up on that. Yeah. Computer, headphones, just because I'm a big like a tech person. Maybe my Nintendo Switch, that would be fun because I imagine that personified would be all about like joy and like playing games. My bed, I would imagine as like Snorlax, like a big bear, right? He's just really like, welcome home, you've arrived. And then he would just like open up like this really big arms and he would be like, floof, right? And then probably my shower. I love, like the shower is my happy place. If I ever am like needing to think or needing to just like, I don't know, I shower like 4 times a day. I just like it.
And this is why there's a drought in California. For me, I kind of followed the gay route of jockstrap. I think that jockstraps are sexy for me. They make me feel sexy. They also cup and like much like a butt bra, just make me look nice. I would say next to that, my air fryer.
You love your air fryer.
My next one would be my collar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Symbolism
personal.
too. Yeah.
Something I'm always wearing. And then this is where I get kind of existential on my list. I said my sex drive.
Ooh. Okay.
Like I want, it's not a physical object, but as we've talked about, inanimate objects can be kind of metaphysical, can be a concept. It's something that I would love to talk to because I could maybe relate with it, but also understand it better. And at the same time, I bet she would be a little off her hinges at times. Like, you know, she just kind of reacts to things.
Yeah. As a demi person, that makes a lot of sense.
And then last but not least, I just think it would be really funny, lube, like the personified version of lube.
Would it just be Charlie Chaplin, like permanently slipping, like making the bongo feet sound, being like,
how are you feeling, Mr. Stark?
What did you just say?
I take that back.
oh, feels so good.
You're getting a little tingle maybe? Because today's last segment of this Inanimate video could not go down without one of the most prolific inanimate object erotic writers, Chuck Tingle. Now, as I was researching for this episode, again, hyperfixating, Chuck Tingle was again and again and again things in the butt. He is a gay erotic writer, and his stories usually talk about monster featuring romantic and sexual encounters with dinosaurs, creatures, anthropomorphized inanimate objects, and abstract concepts. But my favorite piece of Chuck lore was when Greg Abbott was being transphobic as all heck. He actually bought the website governorabbott.com and created this monstrous image showing Greg Abbott being a hateful monster. Chuck Tingle, you're good in my book. This man has written hundreds of long and short form stories about getting in the butt by one of your things.
I applaud that creativity. If you are getting notoriety based on doing something that not a single other person in the world is doing, you're doing something right. I don't care how ridiculous some people think it is.
He's been around for just over a decade now. He started in like 2014, and it was very much like Tide Pods and burgers and velociraptors and bikes and cookies and planets, like concepts of things. Here are some wonderful titles of Chuck Tingle novels.
Oh no.
Schrodinger's Butt, The Curse of Bigfoot Butt Camp, Sentient Menorah Candle, Bisexual Hanukkah Orgy, Trained by the Living Biker Train, The Federal Government Shuts Down My Butt.
I feel like this is of the similar camp of like when we did the episode on edible underwear, that was like, sometimes all you have to do is write something that is clever and silly that people want to buy for the packaging. Like if someone was having a bachelorette party, you better believe someone would give her a gift of like, happy birthday Frankenstein, now pound my butt.
Absolutely.
You know?
And who wouldn't want to read probably my favorite title before we move on? Pounded by the physical manifestation of the feeling that I ordered the wrong thing because I wasn't quite ready when the waiter comes over, but my friends were. I made one last game for today's episode, Sampson.
Okay.
Which I'm going to call Chuck Tingle or Erotic Jingle, which is where I'm going to give you 3 book titles. Only 2 of them are actual Chuck Tingle novels. I've kind of given you a taste for his naming structure, right?
It's 2 truths and a lie.
Correct.
Yeah.
Samson, your first question. Which weekday are we pounding? You have 3 titles. Monday pounds me in the butt. Thursday pounds me in the butt. Friday pounds me in the butt. Which of these titles are not real? Now think about it. Think about it.
This is funny because that means 2 of them are.
Yep.
I feel like, so Friday is like a synonymous day of the week. Like everyone loves a Friday, right? So as a concept, love that. I think I'm willing to bet that Friday is a real one. Monday is also a synonymous day of the week where people are like, oh God, Mondays, right? It's the Garfield meme. So Monday, I could also see it's like, oh God, I have to get back to work. This day has really pounded me in the butt. But Thursdays, I don't think so. I think Thursday's got to be the fake one.
It's Monday, because everyone hates Mondays. You were so close.
Interesting. I would have totally thought that it would have been the other way around.
I mean, I could have chosen Wednesday, but that might have been too on the nose.
Well, Wednesday would make sense because Wednesday Addams.
Oh. Okay, next. Mythical creatures? Question mark. Which of these 3 titles do you think is a fake Chuck Tingle? A. Pounded by President Bigfoot. B. Gay T-Rex Law Firm Executive Boner. Or C. Labubu Butt Pirates Pound My Butt.
I think B is real. T-Rex one.
Gay T-Rex Law Firm Executive Boner.
That's too specific. I think it's real. I don't know how often he comes out with new content. I would imagine the Labubu one is fake just because that's too recent of a phenomenon. I'm gonna stick with C is fake.
You are correct because Pounded by President Bigfoot, it looks like that. Would you read Pounded by President Bigfoot?
I would want an audiobook of Pounded by President Bigfoot read by Monica Lewinsky. I think that would be fabulous.
Samson, you are 1 for 2. This is the last category of books, and this last category of Tingleverse is called sports. Which of these 3 titles are fake? A. The handsome sentient baseball hits a home run into my butt. B. Tennis racket twins taught me tonight. Or C. Pounded by the gay unicorn football squad.
I haven't heard a lot of alliteration in his other titles, so I'm gonna have to say B is fake.
That was a good, yep, B is fake. Yay. Tennis racket twins taught me tonight is not a real title, but I wish it was.
I wish it was.
Because that would be ace. Could be 15 love. I think the Tingleverse, as it's been known and called, is a fascinating world of butt sex. This is kind of where my hyperfixation ends today in our himbo hangout. If you guys enjoyed this, next time Sampson gets to choose a topic.
Ooh, I'm down with this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was definitely a little bit more hyperfixated, but I appreciate that Sampson was down to clown and be a little silly with me, because I think inanimate objects are some of the most personal things in our lives. It makes all the sense that people kind of form these connections and relationships with them, but also it makes me realize how important things are to us. It makes me look at like my objects, my personal items a little bit closer and a little bit more affectionately.
Yeah, they really do give us a place to laugh, place to cry, place to care, because we need that.
Are you
All
kidding,
of
man?
us.
But of course, whether you're couch or just getting it on with your bed, always have a safe word. And today's safe word is
Raunchy jazz interludes.
because just because something isn't alive doesn't mean it doesn't bring life and joy to you. Don't forget to leave a comment down below or on Spotify if you're listening to this on the podcast space of your favorite inanimate object you like though. Sorry, is it too much? Is that too
No,
raunchy
it
for
was
you?
perfect.
Okay.
It was perfect.
And if you enjoyed this, make sure you go follow Sampson as well. Sampson, where can people find you?
That's me. I'm at Sampson Knightley across everything. SampsonNightley.
And you can find me everywhere at Pup Amp, or you can listen to us anywhere at What's the Safe Word on whatever platform, whether it's podcast, YouTube, Twitch, and we will talk to you all next time. Bye. Food is sometimes an object in these kinds of kinks that you could definitely masticate as well as masturbate.
Whoa.
Whoa. What food would chair be?
Bob macaroni and cheese. That was really good.